What's it like to be the parent of a recruitable athlete and understanding that world like you did coming out of high school back in the 90s?
Much more stressful than back then.
Really?
This is crazy. It's just a different world. It's so early they start, and it's just hard to adjust to that because the kids are. I mean, he's 15, so it's hard to know what he's really going to develop into. He's got a long way to go, so it's really it's fun, but nerve wracking too. At the same time.
So you say it starts really early. Like when did it start? Was it eighth grade? Was it just here recently? When did that ball really get rolling?
Oh, it's just this summer it really got going. I would say, yeah. But this is the game you as a parent. What you've learned is if your kid wants to play a college sport, I mean, you have to take them places and let people see them. That's the way the world works now in college sports, in high school.
T-Bob and I have talked about this. Of course, his dad, a famous athlete, played for the Saints and trying to just come up and play in that world. You're the most recognized athlete, I would say, ever at St. Thomas More, and you're so well known here in South Louisiana as the former LSU quarterback. Is there any type of pressure on him? Because I know you have 3 older daughters that have been recruited, but now your son. What's it like for him to kind of follow in your footsteps?
It doesn't bother him. It scares me a lot, but he's like I said, he's 15. He doesn't understand any of that. He's just excited to go to camps and meet new people and coaches, and just goes along with the flow. He's a lot like my wife. Nothing really bothers him too much.
I mean, that's great. That's what you got to have as a quarterback, right? That's like the ultimate one snap and clear position. Talking to Jamie Howard, former LSU great here on Off the Bench. And one thing outside looking in, to me, Jamie, that's even far different than when I was recruited about a decade ago, has been the rise of 7-on-7. Now, obviously, that doesn't do a lot for linemen, but when you're talking about quarterback development, quarterback scouting, do these coaches, these college coaches, do they put a lot of emphasis on 7-on-7?
No, they do not. Though they can't go to it. So there's different things. I mean, the high school 7-on-7 is interesting because you can go onto college campuses and have tournaments. But as far as these teams these elite teams they put together, the college coaches can't even go to it. So
wow.
It's really, it doesn't make any sense to me. And as far as a quarterback, I mean, I'm sure I'll get blasted on this opinion, but I don't think it's really good for habits, that are created as a quarterback. I think receivers and DBs, you learn to compete at a high level against some competition. But as far as quarterbacks, I don't know that it's truly beneficial,
Well, you kind of get used. If you're a quarterback, you kind of get used to just being able to hang out back there a little bit. It feels like watching some of these 7-on-7. They're just kind of holding on to the ball and waiting for the receiver to win the battle eventually.
Yeah, you're just standing there. You don't really take your drops. And like I said, you can create some bad habits. I'm not saying that everyone does it. There are probably a lot of coaches that make them do everything the right way. But, as a quarterback, to compete at 7-on-7, it's better. You're better at it if you just stand there and then turn to the side, turn the other way, and throw it.
We talked to Well, go ahead.
You're actually not as good if you do the correct drops. You don't get the ball off as quick. Because, it's either a real quick game or a real late game in 7-on-7. It's not a real tempo type thing all the time,
Jamie Howard joining us here, ESPN New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Alexandria. We talked to coaches here this week on Off the Bench. Insminger, we just hung up with Mickey Joseph. Joe Brady stopped by, and we've talked to them off the record, and all of them are raving about Walker's workout at the camp last week. What was that like for you, working out in front of the staff and seeing them understand kind of the talent and the future of him?
It was fun. The thing about it was really cool dynamic is they had 2 other kids there, one Walker's class and another one a year older, and they all had offers. Okay, and what's really interesting about that is all 3 we all grew up together in Laurel, Mississippi.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. That kind of took the edge off for me of watching the whole situation because we got to catch up with these guys. And the kid in Walker's class is actually number 1 in the country, and he's fantastic. His name's Ty Simpson. So it was really good. Walker wanted to compete against him, which I thought was great. That the kids advanced, and he's not much bigger, but he's more mature. So I thought it was great that Walker went up against him, and I saw where he needed to get to, and that's what I was more excited about, just seeing him compete against those guys.
And as far as the messaging coming out of LSU, because you can almost describe LSU for a while now as almost a quarterback graveyard if you wanted to be mean. But maybe it looks like things are maybe turning around. Like, what are they telling the recruits? What are they telling y'all to try to sell them that, look, this is going to be a place where you can really develop and have success as a quarterback?
Man, that's a great question. I really haven't gotten those discussions with them because, like I said, this thing is so early.
Yeah.
But, I think in all fairness to a lot of the quarterbacks we've had in the past, a system can make a quarterback and a system can kill a quarterback,
Yeah.
And, when Les was there, he didn't really build a lot of confidence in quarterbacks there. When you're third and long or third and 4 all the time, after running first and second down almost 80% of the time. So that doesn't help a quarterback's confidence. And, you can have the most talented guys back there, but if you lose confidence in quarterback, trust me, I know it's hard to get it back.
As a former quarterback, evaluate your son. What's his strengths and some of the things that he needs to improve on?
Oh, man. I don't want to break him down too much, then he'll be mad at me. I don't think I'm the normal dad that'll tell you all the good things about him. He's got a couple little things he's got to fix. I mean, his biggest issue is he's almost 170 pounds. He's the strongest thing on him is his arm, so the rest of his body's got to develop, which it will, and then I think a lot of things will come into play. He's surprisingly fast, which is, I think, surprising everyone. But he's just got to get bigger and stronger. That's the main thing. That's
the white guy special, deceptive speed. Gotta love it. We're talking to Jamie Howard here on Off the Bench, 104.5, 104.3, 94.7 ESPN. Did you get more? Do you get more nervous watching him than you did even when you played? Like, because I've never had that experience as a parent. I wonder what that's like.
Yeah, I never really got nervous, but man, yeah, it's terrible. Like I got to be by myself during a game. I don't want anybody hearing what I'm saying. I don't want to hear what anybody else is saying.
How do you answer the question to people that would say Jamie Howard would never let his son go to LSU because of his experiences?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Look, my experiences at LSU weren't LSU's fault. They were more mine, so I don't really think that's a fair statement. This is going to be my son's decision. I mean, it's going to be. I'm going to help put him in the right situation and give him all the facts to make a decision if he really has those opportunities one day. But it's going to be his decision. And look, he's a guy. He's driven by people. Like he makes decisions based on his comfort level with people, and that's the way he is. So he loves all those guys over there. He loves several other coaches he met. So it's so early in the process. Who knows what's going to happen?
One of the best sights in sports that I saw in 2018 was St. Thomas More of Lafayette taking a knee for your wife who passed away, Catherine Howard, last year. I know that was a trying time for the community and your family. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, Jamie. I talked to you at that time, but I know that's been hell to deal with.
Yeah, it's been rough, but we're fighting through it, the best we can.
We're thinking of you, and our prayers are with you and your family and that community. Thank you for sharing some time with us this morning.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jamie.
There he is, Jamie Howard, checking in from Lafayette, talking about his son, Walker Howard.